recently acquired Huddled. Can you tell us why you did this and what the new group structure looks like now?
We acquired Huddled in October 2023. And in terms of the group structure, we've got what was Let's Explore PLC, now renamed Huddled PLC, to give it more context in what we're doing and as we move forward. On one side, you've got Let's Explore, the VR products, and Vodiac, which is our sort of traditional sort of home-based entertainment products that we came into, were always in the PLC. And on the other side, what you've got is the new acquisitions. You've got Discount Dragon, which is the main feature, and you've also got BeerMonster, which we'll talk about a little bit later on about, and how that sort of fits into the Discount Dragon structure. So given our experience historically, we feel we can take these skill sets into Discount Dragon, whether it be marketing, which I think is going to be absolutely important, some of the financial skills, but it's that blend of all of those skills together that I think we can put in place at Discount Dragon and really help it grow rapidly.
And what is Discount Dragon?
Discount Dragon is an online retailer, and we supply dry goods, dry grocery products, beverages and alcohol, and we supply all those direct to your home, normally saving anywhere between 30 to 50% of what you pay in the supermarket. So big savings. So how do we go about doing that? Well, it's relatively simple. I mean, a lot of products are close to their sell-by date or close to their sort of best before date, and the supermarkets will not accept them onto their shelves. That doesn't mean that they're no good. They may have 3 to 4 months, maybe up to 6 months left on their best before date, but they have to be used. Now, it's worth noting at this point that 9.5 million tonnes of dry grocery goods gets disposed of, gets wasted each year. So we actually solve that problem in that we can take those in, perfectly good to use, we can have decent margins on them because we're buying them right, and it means we can then pass on those savings to the consumer and giving you the sort of 30 to 50%. An excellent example of that was when we did something around Christmas, because obviously Christmas is a time-sensitive period of the year, as is Easter. So when you come 1st of January, anything that was Christmas related it has no relevance, same with the day after Easter Monday. And we recently bought 7 articulated lorry loads of advent calendars, beer advent calendars. So there was 24 beers in this advent calendar. We had 7 articulated lorry loads turn up, and we actually managed to sell all of them within 3 hours. Consumer got a great deal. The beer was obviously great, no problem at all. We bought it right, so good for us. And it saved the manufacturer actually having to destroy that product. So it was a real win-win-win for everybody.
I can see from your history that you've got a knack to spot trends. You've done numerous business sales and 6 startups to PLC listings. Do you believe that the timing is now right for Discount Dragon?
I think the timing is absolutely perfect for Discount Dragon. I think there are a number of factors that drive our decision process. First of all, things like Amazon have really got us used to getting deliveries at home. And I think now it's second nature to everybody that you want stuff delivered to your house. And also buying bulky goods, whether it be a tray of 24 beers, or whether it be a pack of crisps, or whether it be toiletries, toilet rolls, whatever. You're going to want it delivered at some stage to your home. So we think that in terms of people's needs, we think it's right. I think then also you've got to look at the market and where it's going in terms of discounts and why people want to try and save money. And this isn't all about sort of just the cost of living crisis. I think the desire for people to save money has been there historically, and now the desire for people to save money and have their goods delivered to their homes, I think is the perfect timing for us. So I think as you look at shops like Aldi and Lidl are good examples where the market is going in terms of trends. And this is a huge market. You know, 250 billion pounds a year gets spent on groceries. And if you look at things like, B&M Bargains, huge business, but still only a minnow in the supermarket sort of arena. They're doing about 4 billion pounds a year. Aldi doing about 9 to 10 billion pounds a year, Asda doing about 25 billion a year. So we really are at the start of something that we think can be big. We think the need for people to want stuff delivered to their homes is increasing every day, and the desire to save money on your household spend, and all on big brands. So what we're focused on is delivering big brands, so recognisable FMCG products, whether it be dry goods, whether it be drink, whether it be alcohol. We want big brands going into your household at substantial savings. And we think that's something that's not only going to be relevant today, but it will be relevant tomorrow and the day after as well.
So talk me through how it all works.
Discount dragon is relatively simple in terms of how it works. Obviously, like all things that look simple, there's a lot going on under the waterline. So at one end of the spectrum, we've got a website. Looks very simple, very easy to use. What we've had to make sure, and we've put a lot of time and effort into building this and building the infrastructure around it, is one, it's easy to navigate. And two, we've got the infrastructure in terms of when we get lots of people on the site, we can actually cope with the demand. So we recently did an editorial promotion on ITV on This Morning with Dermot O'Leary and Alison Hammond. Within seconds, we had 250,000 simultaneous people on the website. So we've got to have an infrastructure that can cope with all of that. So we've built that, not perfect, and it's getting better every day, but we've got the infrastructure. The next stage really is the warehouse. And in our warehouse, we've got lots and lots of FMCG, big branded goods, and they're all stored throughout the warehouse, throughout our 40,000 square foot warehouse. And what we tried to make sure, we've implemented a warehouse management system that allows the pickers to pick the right product, not to pick multiple products, to take the least amount of footsteps between picking products, and so that they can pick and pack much simpler. And then we've got some automation in terms of our packing lines and all the rest of it. So we're really trying to sort of simplify the whole process. Again, it's not the finished product, and we're still really in the forming and storming, but every day we improve, and every day it gets better. And you know, we're looking at new warehousing, we're looking at how we improve things further. And then ultimately all those products get loaded onto a parcel, fully tracked delivery. So as a consumer, you want to know when your parcel's arriving. You want to know a slot, probably a 1 to 2 hour slot of when your parcel's arriving. So we do that, all fully tracked, information sent to your mobile and your email, and then ultimately it gets delivered. And I think it's that combination of processes really that help us have lots of satisfied customers. So we've got Trustpilot reviews averaging 4.8, and overall we're rated excellent on that site. And as I think you'll know, or certainly I know, is people normally go on Trustpilot to complain about things rather than to praise. So to have 20,000 plus people praising us, I think is testament to what we're doing, and we're doing a lot of the things right.
Considering the rapid growth of Discount Dragon, what are the important KPIs?
I think as with any business, KPIs are really, really important, and we are focused on KPIs. That doesn't mean that we want to sort of go preaching them from the sort of mountaintops at this stage. We're still very much in the forming and storming. But to answer the question, what's important to us is top line growth. And back in August 2022, when we started this business, we did £75,000 in the first month. August 2023, a year on, 600% growth. We did £450,000 of revenue. We continue to see growth, so growth continues. It's not stopped there. What's also important is average order value. And obviously with having more products in our portfolio, then we're seeing the average order value increase. So I think for us it's about investment in products, investment in marketing, and we haven't really started marketing as yet. A lot of our stuff is organic. We've done some tests. We know that there's a big market out there. We know we can acquire the customers at the right price, so we're going to invest money into that. And then it's really about the warehouse, because the more efficient we are in the warehouse, then the more this all sort of squares the circle effectively, and the more value we get out of it. So we are obsessed with KPIs. We live by them day to day, but as I said, we don't really want to get into sort of the minutiae today. That being said, we will, in due course and when the time is right, update the market with our KPIs and what we're doing.
It looks like you're really focused on growth, but what about the margins?
It's always a fine line between growth and margins. Yes, we are obsessed with growth. We believe that this is a massive market. We believe, because of all the things that we spoke about earlier, that the opportunity is huge. There's £250 billion a year grocery market, so we can see if we just get a little bit of that, we're going to do very well. But that said, we've got to also ensure that we have decent margins. And as we touched on before, we buy products right. So our buying team are very, very focused in buying products at the right price. That allows us to have good margins, and our margins can be sort of 5 to 8 times that of a normal supermarket. So we've got sizable margins that then allow us to effectively deliver the products to your home. As long as you're spending £25, we deliver it free of charge, fully tracked delivery. So all of these things factor in. But also, what I think is really, really important to remember is this is about scale. And the more we scale, the more the savings make a meaningful difference. So once we go past a certain number of deliveries every month, our costs reduce. Our processing fees reduce with the credit card companies. And again, with more warehouse efficiency, we can process more orders. So all of these things have a material impact. We've said historically that we're looking to do sort of somewhere between 30,000 to 35,000 parcels a month in our current warehouse. But our ambitions don't stop there. We think with a new warehouse we can do a multiple of that. And again, each layer of efficiency makes a meaningful difference on the bottom line.
You've got a decent amount of cash in the business. Will you use this all for the growth of Discount Dragon?
Huddled plc is in a very fortunate position that, yes, it does have a lot of cash on its balance sheet. We've got sort of circa £5 million of cash post doing the Huddled deal in the tin. We've got another £1 million to come in February next year. And we sit on probably north of £1 million worth of stock. But to answer your question, no, we will not use all the cash. What we will do is we're going to use cash smartly. So whether that be investing in marketing, whether it be invested in stock, whether it be investing in our new warehouse, we'll use that money very wisely. And a good example of that is when we recently bought a lot of gin. Now, gin doesn't have a date on it. It doesn't go off. The manufacturer had overproduced a whole range of craft gins. We were able to buy those at the right price. That enabled us to offer consumers 40% off the retail price, so they get a bargain, and we also make very good margins at the same time. So I think for us it's about using the cash wisely, but definitely not spending it all. We don't need to spend it all. We've got a very clear plan, but we do think having that strong balance sheet puts us in a very good position as we move forward.
And tell me about BeerMonster and how that fits into the group.
BeerMonster was originally created before we acquired or started Discount Dragon. So it was our sort of entree into selling cheap beer online. And I think one of the things it's helped us do is understand the beer market. Now, does it fit in and should we create it as its own brand? I think the answer is no. We see it being a vital part of Discount Dragon, and at the moment it sort of sits within Discount Dragon. But I think as we've evolved and Discount Dragon's evolved, what we've realised is that beer and alcohol is part of your purchase rather than sort of the whole focus of your purchase. And I think we've become much more sort of attuned as to the margins in alcohol, what we need to do, certainly in beer. Margins can be relatively low in supermarkets. So we've gone after craft beer where we can get better margins for ourselves. And fitting that in under the BeerMonster brand within Discount Dragon has really kept us a very strong position in the beer market with a lot of the brewers, without having to create its own brand and its own marketing infrastructure. So a vital part, but as I said, within Discount Dragon for the foreseeable future.
And that sounds all really exciting, and that 2024 is going to be a really busy year for Huddled. Can you tell us a little bit more about the home-based entertainment and what's going on at Vodiac and Let's Explore?
So you're absolutely correct. I mean, 2024 is going to be a very busy year for us. In terms of the home-based entertainment products, Vodiac and Let's Explore. First of all, Vodiac, as we said recently, we've sold 26,000 units, predominantly going to be sold in Q4, and they've all been sold to QVC, mainly in the UK and US markets, but we've got tests in Canada and Australia. And depending on how they go, we'll sort of drive what we're going to do in sort of 2024 for the Vodiac product. In terms of Let's Explore, we've got 3 new products, an upgraded oceans product, a space product and a wildlife product. Each one features a new upgraded VR headset powered by your smartphone. It also includes a couple of hardback full colour books, sort of educational books, sticker book, giant poster, and also an interactive model. So lots and lots in there for, I think, the right age group, sort of probably 10 to sort of 16 age group.
And why should people invest in Huddled Group?
We think this is a great time for people to invest in Huddled, primarily driven by our ambition to succeed. But more importantly, I think we're at a moment in time with both of these businesses, the home-based entertainment business and Discount Dragon, where it's time and chance. As history has proven, I think we have a good eye for spotting opportunities and spotting them at the right time. And I think the timing has never been more perfect for Discount Dragon and our sort of home-based entertainment business. The consumer demand is clearly there. We're seeing that now, and we can see that only increasing as time goes on. So I think, timing is right. Our ambition has never been stronger. We believe all of these things combined actually is the perfect recipe for success.